بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين. We are once again recording our meeting. This is meeting number 6 of the Bunyaan project. We have Brother Ahmed, Brother Abdul Wahid, and we have a new member, a new addition to our team, Brother Abu Bakr. Brother Abu Bakr, do you mind just like taking 1 minute, giving us a little bit, telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. My
Alaikum
name is
assalam.
Abu Bakr, and I'm new to this team as well as this initiative. May Allah bless it. I just want to say initially, may Allah bless this initiative. It's very good. I had a similar idea at the beginning of this year, but it was slightly different. It was a blockchain project for Ayuta for I'm Somali. Uh, if everybody doesn't know, but in Somali culture we have a similar concept. It's called ayuto, where they just pull money together and then give it to somebody, and then not only for just housing, they use it for like purchases, like a car loan or to start up a business. And so it's very similar idea, and so I wanted to contribute to this project. I have a major in MIS, and I just graduated recently, and so a little bit fresh on that. But inshallah, I'll contribute what I can, and
Inshallah.
Allah can help with the rest.
Inshallah. Ameen. Inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah reward you for joining the team, and may Allah Azza wa Jal make you a means of khair for the project and also for the communities that you're involved in.
I mean,
Okay, so with that said, I think Brother Ahmed, I'm not sure if you want me to start or you want to start with the progress that you have made. Maybe it may give you a better idea of the progress if I shared the latest, if I briefly explain the latest changes that were pushed. But I'm not sure. It's up to you. I can start or you can start.
Yeah, no, I guess inshallah, if you wanted to speak to the latest PR on the repo, inshallah, after that, I can support just statusing all the
Okay.
issues and that we've been working on for the week.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so let me quickly go over the PR that we just merged, and how it ties back to the project and the tasks that we were planning to complete by the end of January. I think the latest merge, the latest changes have gotten us like 75% there, to be honest with you. I made a big change to the way we broadcast new blogs, which I think made things much simpler and allowed for much faster bug fixes. So let me quickly go to the project section and just let you guys know where that falls under. So if you go to the in progress, so basically this will fall under the complete blockchain functionality. So this is done right now. This is done, and this is done, and there was a bug. I think we we spoke about it in the previous calls,
Yeah.
that was causing the race condition. I don't think we added that as a bug as an issue, but I'm gonna go ahead and add it as an issue, and that I'm gonna mark it as fixed. That one is fixed as well. I am almost done with the broadcast. I was actually working on it before the call. I'm almost done with this as well. So once this is done, then the blockchain functionality is pretty much done. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, we should have this done by our next call, inshallah. Which will give us a lot more time and will free me up to help the other brothers. I know we have so brother Abdul Wahid, he was sick for some time, so he wasn't able to work on the no SQL part. But inshallah, I'm not sure, brother Abdul Wahid, maybe you'll have some more time this week and next week. Maybe we can get together and start yeah, working on this. Um,
So
regarding, go
so
ahead.
I guess kind of tying it back to the PR, and anybody who's watching this, it seems like it was mostly back end work that was changed on there.
Yes, so it was mostly back end work, and also changes that were necessary to reflect those back end changes in the front end. Um, yeah, so there was a combination of both, but basically it was mostly back end. It wasn't anything that had to do with design of the
Yeah.
application that we were planning to make.
Looked like it was a lot of Python modules you updated.
Yeah, there was a lot of Python changes. Um, so, Brother Abdul Wahid, if you have any comments regarding the no SQL task, feel free to share. If not, we can discuss the designs for the web and mobile apps.
Yeah. Um, so I think we need a discussion on what we want. Basically, uh, there are lots of NoSQL uh, open source projects out there.
Mhm.
So I have a couple of them in mind. But yeah, I think it would be good if we can have a discussion on uh, which one is better or which one to use before we start working on a database. And yeah, so I have time this week. Uh, I'm free Saturday. Sorry, I'm not free Saturday and Sunday. But I should have time tomorrow until Friday night. So if you have time, probably we can coordinate and get this going, inshallah.
Inshallah, sounds good. Yeah, I should be able to make some time, and yeah, let's start this conversation, and then we can bring this conversation into the call next week, and you can lead the conversation as to what we decided and why we decided it. So
Mhm.
uh, just to give the viewers an idea of why we decided to go with this particular NoSQL database versus the other ones. um, Okay, so that sounds good. Inshallah, we'll keep in touch. And the last one, designs for the web and mobile apps. So this is actually brother Omer was going to work on this, and he hasn't joined the call yet. He said he will be a bit late, so we'll keep that for the end of the call, inshallah, once he comes back. But I did want to mention the bug that you guys have been running into when starting the second node. So brother Abdul Wahid and I did some troubleshooting, and there was a problem with the second node being called by the first node, um, while it has when basically in a state that while it's not ready yet to receive API calls. So the second node is not ready to receive API calls, but the first node has already is making API calls to it. So I fixed that problem, and I believe that's you don't see that error anymore, right, brother Abdul Wahid? We see a different error now.
Right.
Yeah, so inshallah, that's something else brother Abdul Wahid and I will also work on when we talk about the NoSQL stuff, to try to see why you guys see this, and I don't, because I'm basically cloning the same repo as everyone else. So I'm
Mm.
assuming, I'm thinking it's something to do with my environment, that's different. But we'll try to work on that as well. But that basically, that's not. I don't think that's a major issue, because as soon as we figure out what that what that variable is that's causing issues for everyone else, you know, it'll be fixed, and everyone else will be able to do exactly what I'm doing. So but that has been a pain for the past week.
Can I
Yes.
ask?
Yeah, we'll try to get that fixed as well before next week's call.
Okay, inshallah. I pulled what is it called? I tried, yeah, and I still have that error when I updated the code locally from Git. Is it that JSON error you guys are still seeing?
So the new error is it says connection error, HTTP connection pool host 8001 connection refused. Yeah, I need to put this in Stack Overflow. Is this the same error that you're getting, Brother Ahmed?
No, it was that request JSON decode error.
Okay. Yeah, so this is, did you do a fresh pull?
I believe I did. I can probably get together with you guys later when
Okay.
you guys do want to meet again on this.
Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, well, let's get together when we try to fix this, because we're seeing a different error, slightly different error now, and we'll try to figure that out. Okay, sounds good. Inshallah, we'll coordinate tomorrow, or on Friday. We'll get together and fix this, inshallah. So other than that, those are the only updates I have. I can do what yeah, I was thinking of doing some live coding, but I'm not sure if that's the best use of time. If you guys don't have anything else to add, we can perhaps end this call today short, like if there's nothing else to discuss, because I'm not sure when Brother Ahmed is gonna join, to be honest with you.
We said half hour.
I'm sorry.
He said he should be able to join in half an hour.
Okay, so in 10 minutes approximately. Okay. So what do you
I have
guys?
some.
You have some? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just following up from last week. This also would apply to Brother Rebecca with regards to adding them to the organization within Git, so we can assign.
Yes, yes.
Or they can assign and take on any issues. Yeah, there are some minor ones about the white paper and adding the architectural diagram and like API documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what the timeline looks like on those, but yeah, those are still open to be assigned.
Mm-hmm. True. That is true. Maybe I can quickly. Actually, let me move this here. I'm not sure if it's going to require me to type any password or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and add those brothers to the team right now. But what I'm going to need is, Brother Abu Bakr, can you have a GitHub account, Brother Abu Bakr?
I don't have a personal. I think I do, but I need to log back into it. I only have a work one for now.
Oh, I see. Can you make, or if you can you send me your email address, the one associated to your GitHub account?
Sure.
I'll add you to the projects. Yeah. So Brother Ahmed, I believe I added Brother Hamid last week. As you can
Okay.
see, he's part of the team, but we need to add brother Abu Bakr. Yeah, so inshallah, once I get brother Abu Bakr's email, I'll add him to the team as well.
Okay, jazakallah khair.
No problem. Barakallah fiqh. Okay, so let's see. Maybe we can go ahead and add that issue. Let's see. Design API document host the backend complete blockchain from hiding. Okay, so this is done. We can close this out, right? Yeah, this is done. Did we associate the pull request? Did we add the pull request to it?
I don't think to this issue.
Okay, so let's see. Let me find the pull requests. Issue 3 hide buttons. Okay, so we have, this is the pull request. It's Bunyaan issue 3 hide button. Okay. So this is it. Okay. So something else we need to do is we need to basically start thinking about so okay, before I go there, let me just explain what where we are. So at this point, what happens is, I'm not gonna go over demo it because the setup is gonna take some time. But basically, what happens at this point is, once the smart contract is created and we have enough partners, the loan is covered, the user can start paying rent. So the pay rent pops up and they can pay rent. And what we have to start thinking about right now is how to get the escrow involved, right? How to get the seller involved. Whether obviously that's gonna be, it's gonna require some logic, some functionality outside of the blockchain, because yes, the escrow and basically the seller will be included in the smart contract, but as far as getting them involved and having them participate in the network, that's something that is I would say like sales related, or like it's not necessarily programming. It's something that has to do with uh, convincing people to come and actually participate in the network. You know what I mean? So that's something we need someone to investigate. I'm not sure if brother Abu Bakr would be open to start looking into this. I can share some resources about other blockchains through which titles were transferred, and basically payments were made to the seller and stuff. So it is possible, but we just need to figure out how we want to we want that feature to look like in our blockchain. and how we're gonna make it work, basically.
Yeah,
We, yeah.
to that.
I'm sorry, was that Brother Abu Bakr or Brother Ahmed?
That was me. I said I'll be able to look into that.
Okay,
Inshallah.
awesome. Inshallah. Yes, I'll. Yeah, once you. Oh, I think you sent me your email address. I was supposed to send you the tech specs, right? I totally forgot about it. I apologize. So I'll send you the technical, the white paper as well, and it briefly talks about this, and it has some links to different resources you can read up on. But that may be something you could complete in the white paper for us once you have enough information. Okay, so inshallah, so we have something for Brother Abu Bakr as well. Brother Ahmed, can you add this to the tasks?
I can, but just for some clarification, I guess you were talking more about not in a code sense, but the framework and logic of how we would implement escrow and transferring titles
Yes,
and that side of this whole system. Sure.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And obviously it's gonna require some coding as well. And maybe once we get there, Brother Abu Bakr, if he feels comfortable enough, he can, basically own that aspect of the blockchain as well. But we can decide further into it once he does more research and gets more comfortable. We'll circle back and talk about it.
Inshallah.
Okay. I had one other item whenever we're done, whenever you were done, Inshallah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about.
Okay. One aspect not code related, right? We talk about the January deadline of rolling this out to the community. Kind of wanted to talk about if we're still on track for that, how we want to engage the community, and if there's some messages or people that we should engage with, and how that side of it.
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, what we wanted to do by the end of January, is have have a working blockchain, have at least the proof of concept down, which I believe, like I said, most of that has to do with the actual blockchain functionality, which we are hoping to finish by next week. Most of it is already complete after the latest merge. The latest pull request. So we're still on track. I think we're ahead as well. We just need, like, if someone wants to work on the React, the front end that we have right now, just for the proof of concept purposes, and make it look fancier, they can definitely reach out to me and I'll help them out. And to work on the front end, you don't really need to run multiple nodes. You just want to make the front end look good. So that, I think Brother Hamid was interested in doing some of that. So he can maybe he can contact me, reach out to me, and I'll help him out. But if anyone else is interested as well, you're open to, because there are a few things that you can do to make it look nicer. Yeah. So going back to what Brother Umair was saying, like, if you want to make it, look fancy, and which we do, right? We want to make it look nice when we show it to different people in the community. I'm not sure. I was speaking to one of the masajid, and they said this is, which is true. This is not necessarily like a lecture thing, because the majority of people wouldn't understand what's going on. So
Or care.
yeah, or care for that
Yeah.
matter. So we were thinking maybe we should just, and not necessarily for us to get money, but just pitch it to different community members that may be interested in taking this and making it bigger, and actually making it a real thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're way ahead of the deadline, the end of January deadline. So inshallah, we should have something we can present to the right people when the time comes.
Okay, so this is more of a engaging community members, not necessarily having a 15-minute presentation at the masjid after Jummah or something, and saying and showing the website and how it would work. And am I correct in that thinking?
Yeah, I don't think it would be appropriate to do it like that, but I I do I do see how we can maybe like advertise this only to the people in this field, and maybe work with one of the masajid and have the people in this field come and because it's not going to be just like technical stuff, right? We're going to mix it with the Quran and Hadith, and like we're going to make it religious. It's not going to be just Python code. So I was thinking maybe we could do something like that, like have a 30 to 45-minute talk and talk about the importance of thinking in these terms. What we want to do is the foster or develop this mentality that start thinking in these terms and start working together, you know what I mean, for a common divine cause. So even if we can get that, even if we can accomplish that goal, meaning like we start having community members thinking this way and actually getting people together and start working on these things. I think that's enough of a that's good enough in my opinion, even if we're not able to accomplish anything else. But inshallah, like we will accomplish much more than that as well. I'm not sure that's a long answer to your question, brother Ahmed, but
No, I took some notes down, and it seemed like it's this slightly smaller, more targeted
yeah,
outreach, inshallah, at the end of January, whether it's engaging the community for support from people in the field, or relating it Islamically, but also engaging community members who would see the
benefit.
inshallah see the benefit of it
Yeah.
and support, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah. Yeah, we need like a marketing person too. Like we have no idea.
I'm not one to not cold call people, but yeah, just have plenty of conversations. But I can take notes.
Yeah, we need someone who can actually convince people of sell this sell it in the right way. But yeah, I've always disliked sales, so I'm terrible at it.
So is our plan to once this is all done, are we gonna sell it to some mortgage company, like Islamic loan company?
Yeah, so the plan was never to sell it, to be honest with you. The plan is to keep it open source and encourage people to build on it.
Yeah,
If
that's
they
what
see, yeah, if they see benefit in it. So like the reason I said like I meant sales in a general sense, just like not necessarily sell it to get money, but just sell it to people so they see benefit in it.
Yeah, maybe we can have this as open source, and if some other if any other person wants to improve the solution and commercialize it, it's up to
Them, yeah,
up to him. But
yeah.
yeah, I think it should be an open source so that everybody can contribute and use freely.
Yeah, exactly. That has always been the goal. And it's less headache as well, because we don't want to get involved and like because like people who are gonna make like a commercial product out of it, that involves so much other work that we don't want to get involved in. It's going to distract us from the main goal of the institution, which is primarily religious, right? We don't want to get involved in any of that.
Right.
And like you said, that keeping it open source, it's going to encourage more people to to take it and build on it in different ways, like not just in one way. um so they can take the same code and modify it in 1,000 different ways and come up with different products from out of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of intelligent people out there. So if they can contribute, then the solution will be more appealing and robust.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, that is very true. To be honest with you, like, I've mentioned this before, I believe. This what we have right now um, may not necessarily. It's definitely not because I haven't had time to refactor and clean it up. It's definitely not the cleanest solution. So we're gonna have to clean a lot of the code. Uh, but I know for certain 100% someone, one of our genius brothers or sisters, we have many of them. I'm not one of them, but if one of them just tries to help, decides to help out and build on this, I think it's gonna be very beneficial. But yeah, but I guess we have to find those people who can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So it's been more than 30 minutes. Let me see. Okay. Just let me text Brother Omar real quick.
I'm gonna drop off. Maybe I think I can still catch my Isha Salah.
Oh, inshallah. Inshallah. Barakallah fiqh, Brother Abdul Wahid. Inshallah, we'll talk tomorrow or Friday. Jazakallah khairan.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alex,
Okay. Texted Brother Omar. Brother Abu Bakr or Brother Ahmed, do you guys have anything else to add?
No, nothing really.
no, but if you guys need, once we get to that part of the marketing, I think I can help out in there as well. I've run a few Instagram pages,
Oh,
so
okay.
maybe that experience might be helpful.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that would be good. I mean, if you're if you have experience in that, Brother Abu Bakr, I think just in general, it would be very good if we could advertise as much as we can the developers on the path initiative. So if you have if you think you're having Facebook or Instagram, on which you can share the idea and share these YouTube videos, I think that will go a very long way. One of the things that has been very difficult is making a breakthrough in YouTube and trigger the algorithm, to be honest with you. So if you have experience in that and you know how to do that, I mean, would different your help would definitely be noticed and appreciated, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah, I'll work on that.
Jazakallah khairan. May Allah reward you.
I mean,
Looks like Brother Romayo is going to join in a moment or
Yeah,
so.
Brad Ahmed is going to join in a few minutes.
And inshallah, when Brother Abu Bakr is added to the added to the project, I'll assign this issue to you about incorporation, the outline for how to incorporate escrow and title transfer and other related real estate items, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So,
How are you doing, Brother Ahmed?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, doing good, brother. Just getting back bike right now.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Good to hear your voice. So the reason we discussed a few things. One of them that you may be interested in hearing is we discussed at this point. I think we're at the stage of thinking about how we're gonna incorporate the escrow and the seller and the transfer of the title. So Brother Abu Bakr, who is a new team member, may Allah reward him, he's gonna look into that for us. But how the way that ties to the design is we're gonna need to take that into consideration as well when we're designing the front end. The use case that the user once the user has the loan that they need, how are they gonna get the escrow involved, and how are how is that going to look like in the user interface? So that's something that to keep
Yeah,
in mind.
it makes sense. Makes sense. So if you don't mind asking, how are we planning on bringing that to like the blockchain, and is there plans already for that, or is that something Brother Abu Bakr is going to start exploring?
So that's something Brother Abu Bakr is going to start exploring. But basically, the way what makes sense is that the application that we are going to build, that's going to be on top of the blockchain solution, it will go ahead and it will be tasked, or it will have that feature of incorporating or having different sellers, and or giving different sellers to become part of the network. Does that make sense? So it needs some outreach, and it needs some we need to appeal to different escrows and sellers that this is what we have, and you know um, if you're interested to become to join the network, the peer-to-peer lending network. So I'm not sure. I think out of the team, out of all of us, you had the most knowledge on this, because you had done a lot of research with the with some of the other Islamic financial institutions. So what are your thoughts? How do you think we should tackle this problem?
Yeah, so I think before we had discussed this a little bit, in the sense that we don't necessarily want sellers to have to participate in this system in order for buyers to be able to purchase that property, because that from the get-go will reduce the scope of what properties can be purchased to begin with. The idea, like kind of like taking Zillow as a marketplace, right? Like it has all kinds of homes that are listed everywhere else as well. None of these platforms kind of differentiates in what's available, and so shouldn't our platform. The idea is uh, that escrows should be able to work with our platform, not the
Mhm.
seller. So the buyer can go out and look for any property to buy and make that work, just like every other lenders do, right? Like they don't care where the property is.
Mhm.
They just care about whether they can go through the underwriting process, take the escrow into account, and all of that. So back to answer like the original question, I think the way it should work is that the platform should open it up to escrow, like they either have accounts or something of the sort. But like so the workflow would be like this: like I'm a buyer and I want property A. I say, hey, I'm going for property A. Do I have backing for this property? Right. Once like I submit my documents, everything, I look like a good person to be lent money to, validated by like whoever's like you'll probably have some concept of oracles to verify like who we should even lend money to, right? Like
Mhm.
can be just anybody, and
Mhm.
what's the limit we should lend for a person to, like depending on how much they can pay back, etc. All of
Mhm.
that stuff, right? Similar to what even the Islamic lending solutions do, right? So once that's established, you find a home that you're interested in buying, and once that you get qualified for that number, now you have sort of an approval from the system that you're good to buy. So what that translates to is like as of today, like if I want to buy a house with the mean housing, before I can go make offers to properties that are listed for sale, I need to have a pre-approval.
Mhm.
What that pre-approval serves as a means to say, like, hey, my assets and my income and everything has been verified, and let's just say like 1 million, I'm approved to buy a house up to 1 million, right? And I can go make offers on those houses, right? So that pre-approval is the first step that our blockchain is going to like, or our application is going to provide. Once you have that pre-approval, now I get that pre-approval, I go shop for houses, and I like a particular house. Now if I like a particular house, I need to make an offer on that. So at this point, what would happen is I would already have the pre-approval. I make the offer uh, with like a traditional listing agent, and usually like the buyer has an agent, and the property seller has the listing agent, and these two agents work together to put up a purchase agreement, right? And that needs to be signed by the buyer and then the seller. Once that gets signed, that means that the offer has been accepted by the seller. And in all of this right now, I don't think the blockchain needs to be involved,
Mhm.
right? Till the point that the seller has accepted the offer. Now, once the seller accepts the offer, you have 3 days to go into escrow, right? Escrow is a third party, which is a mediator between the seller and the lender, and also the buyer, right?
Mhm.
So it ensures that the buyer puts their side of the down payment in, the lender puts their side of like the remaining percentage of the amount of the house in, and then that money would stay with the escrow, and the escrow will take the title from the seller side, right? And it will basically do the handshake, right? Like it will transfer the title over there, make sure like the money goes through. This is the point where our system would have escrow in place, right? Like for escrows to come in and use our system basically to like they'll work like they work traditionally, right? Like our system could send money to the escrow directly, right?
Mhm.
But that's where I was saying like the escrows need to be able to work with our system, either have an account created, link their money can be put in there through our, we put the money there as well, and our users put the money there as well, right?
Mhm.
So once they get the money, they can, and then our system should create, like usually what happens is in Islamic based financing, the buyer and the lender get into a contract, the musharika contract, and the way it's executed is on the title there's an LLC. Like it wouldn't have my name or it wouldn't have Bunyaan name. It would be an LLC that both Bunyaan and myself are partners in, right? So that again, like maybe that's another entity that needs to be set up for the application itself that manages like creating these LLCs on base like to give it like a legal structure, right? To have Bunyan and the user like or the buyer in there, and so that gets put on the title. So back to the escrow. So the escrow comes in, sets up their account. Once they have set everything up, the money goes to them, and they transfer over their title to the LLC, right? So that transaction is complete. Now again, how this will actually like creating the account and that exchange happening is straightforward, but how does the blockchain actually, like without human like interaction or that kind of stuff, validates like this is an actual good deed, like a good title came in or not? I think that's where we need to research the concept of something called the oracles. So there's a blockchain out there, it's called Chainlink, and their main use case is actually to validate like real life events onto the blockchain. Like for example, like if your smart contract needs to know like uh, if one team won or not, for example, who validates whether that team won or not, or what was the score of the game, right? That information is on the internet, but like internet could have like varied sources of information, right? Who validates that? So there's a concept of oracles, and they get paid by like validating this information. And obviously the way it works is like the majority of the oracles, that's how the blockchain works, the consensus itself works, right? And the idea is like if a substantial number of oracles are running, like you would get like truthful information back. So I think we would have to research into that concept of oracles, who would like validate like, and the same thing applies for who would validate like how much is a buyer worth, like how much loan they should qualify for. And then again on the other side, when the transaction goes through, hey, is this a valid title that came in, and is this like good, everything good? Once we get past that stage, then it's like all just like straightforward, our own like blockchain logic, the rent payment and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think
Does
these are
that make sense, or it was too convoluted?
no. I think it made sense to me. I'm not sure if everyone.
Alhamdulillah, that was a good. You must be a good storyteller. That was well structured. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Brother Abu Bakr, this may have helped you a lot as to like where you want to look into for your research as well.
Yep, definitely it did.
Yes.
I'll take a look into that. I cut off a little bit at the beginning of his Brother Muhammad's explanation, but I can rewatch that part.
Inshallah. Yeah, sounds good. Yes. I mean, so let me give you like a briefly what I was thinking, Brother Umair, and it may be close to where did it go? It may be close to shoot. I'm sorry, guys. Everything is breaking apart in my in my PC. It may be close to what you were talking about. Basically, I have this escrow class, right, as part of the blockchain. Inside the blog, so it's not. Well, actually, it is part of the Musharaka smart contract. So if you look at the Musharaka smart contract, it has an escrow. Initially, the escrow is none, because initially like the Musharaka smart contract is only for the user to be able to collect loans, right? I was thinking once the loan is granted, and basically the buyer and the seller agree, to have in the application that will create on top of the blockchain solution, to have basically, once these conditions are met, to provide a link to the user, to the borrower, where they can actually send this link to the escrow of, to the escrow that they want to get involved, to the third party escrow that they want to work with. And then basically the escrow, the third party, they will be able to log in and create a wallet address using that link, and become part of the network. Does that make sense? I think it's a very simplistic solution, but that's what I had in mind initially when I was writing this.
I personally feel that we should not include escrow in the main smart contract, but to be honest, the way you have it architected just gave me another idea.
Okay.
Because everything is on the blockchain, right?
Yeah.
We don't really like what escrow is a medium of trust, right?
Hmm.
Right? That's all what it serves. Uh, blockchain itself is that. You can trust the blockchain. It's not owned by a single central entity,
Hmm.
right? So the users can directly transact. Like for example, if you have a wallet,
Hmm.
like the seller has a wallet. Now that again, like there might be some legal challenges here, which
Hmm.
might still require the use of an escrow, like legal uh things there, that or maybe the law says that or whatever. I don't know. I'm making this up. So, but because the role that escrow serves, the blockchain can just directly serve, and the sellers can just have their wallet address there. And once they receive the funds, the deed, the title's already there.
Hmm.
The transaction happens. Obviously, they sign something there saying, "Hey, if I receive this funds, then the title gets transferred over," and the title's there. And that could be like in legal writing and all of that, right?
Yeah.
It's so in that case, like once the blockchain, obviously, and for the blockchain or the DApp, the user has deposited that money and it knows that this money is there. And
Hmm.
so also the loan has been verified that, hey, there's a backing loan for the person there, like the 80% side of things is waiting. So all of that money is already there. So they can be instantaneously transferred to the seller address, at which point the automatic transfer can happen over to the LLC that we're talking about, right?
Hmm.
So it might not even need the escrow, uh, minus the legal side of things, obviously. Like, and then the other thing is, even if you did not need the escrow, that would mean that a lot more sellers need to be participating in the system,
Yeah.
like technical enough to be participating, or listing agents need to be whereas the other way around, like a lot lesser, like the escrows are a lot less than compared to the number of sellers.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean, I definitely like, I agree with you, and I just wanted to share this article in which the title was transferred, I think, without an escrow. So I'm gonna share this with you guys. I'm sure many of you guys have already read this, but I just wanted to share it in this call as well, so people can.
this is can you buy a home with crypto?
So basically, in this article, it talks about how I believe it's this one, talks about how the title was transferred, and it doesn't talk about escrow. I think everything is done through the blockchain. So from a legal perspective, if this article is not incomplete, I think, like, you're right. It may be, we may be able to bypass escrow if we are able to, like, meet the conditions. If the blockchain is able to meet the conditions that are required, to act as an escrow.
Yeah, and the thing is, like like I said, like escrow is really trust, so where everything gets there and it knows like it got everything. But the blockchain knows the entire state of the system. It knows what's in the seller's account. It knows what's in the
Yeah.
uh, buyer's account, and it knows the loan has been funded. So
Yeah. Good point. I mean, I think this is a really good conversation. And you know, initially it may seem like it's not, you know, maybe it may not be realistic what we're trying to do, but the more we talk about it, the more, you know, it becomes clear that it's doable. I mean, it's possible, based on everything else that's already been done by other blockchains, and everything, you know, you mentioned, brother Umair, and everything we've done already so far in the code. So inshallah, step by step, inshallah, we'll get there. It may take us a while, but we'll get there, inshallah.
Oh,
Inshallah. So we are right at time. Inshallah, if anyone has any concluding thoughts, please go ahead and share. And if not, we can, inshallah, end the call.
there's nothing for me. Jazakallah khair.
Okay. Sounds good. Inshallah, we will resume next week, inshallah, if we are still alive. And if we are not, may Allah Azza wa Jal forgive all of our sins. Jazakallah khairan. May Allah reward you for your participation.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.